There you go. Now we got an arrow. All right. Number one. Give me the name of this vessel. Number two. Give me the name of this valve. Number three. I gotta make an arrow. Give me the name of these little fragments here. Number four, this type of white blood cell, please. Number five, going to that part. Where's my brain? Weird. My computer is so weird. Look, I think I fixed it here. Number five, give me the name of this lobe, please. Number six, give me the name of this brain here, the hindbrain. This is actually a picture from the whole brain from behind. So what I want is this bottom part, also known as the cauliflower brain. Number six. Number seven.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are we supposed to be saying something?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we'll do it afterwards. You're just supposed to write down on a piece of paper.
Okay.
It's the quizzy part. And then we solve it. But it's just so you guys know for that part of the test what to do. So where are we at? Number six is this part back here. And number seven, Nah, let's go to the next thing. Number seven is a spinal cord. Where is my spinal cord? Here's you see a spinal cord, right?
Yeah.
Good. I like you to tell me this yellow bulge that's part of the sensory part that comes into the spinal cord, nerves that come in, this sensory bulge. And then number 8. Number 8, down here by the spinal cord, what are the nerve roots called that come out after the spinal cord is no longer there? Number 8. Number 9. We're getting to the eyes. I'm getting text here. Oops, that's a big eye. Oh yeah, let's do them also. No, let's do, what's this round thing called here? This snail looking thing. Number 9. And number 10 in the eye, in the back, what is that thing called that comes out of the eyeball in the back? Number 10. Number 11, we're getting to the last part here, to the lungs. Oh, that's 90 small. make that a little bigger. What is this structure called here in the lungs? The whole thing, that's number 11. And then what is this fissure called? Number 12. What is that fissure called? Good. That's good enough. Let's solve the quiz. Anybody speak first? Number 1.
Pulmonary artery.
Good. Pulmonary artery. Also pulmonary trunk, I take. Number 2.
Is that the cusp of AV?
Yeah, that's the AV valves. Number 3, that was on the right side. Number 3.
Platelets. I don't know how do you say that?
Platelets, yes, platelets. Yeah. Very good. Number 4.
Basophil.
Very good. Number 5.
Frontal lobe.
Very good. Number 6. Number 6. Anybody?
The cerebellum.
The cerebellum. Very good. Number 7.
Dorsal root ganglion.
Dorsal root ganglion. Very good. Number 8.
Cauda equina.
Cauda equina. Very good. Number 9.
Cochlea.
Cochlea. Very good. Number 10.
Optic nerve.
Optic nerve. Very good. 11.
Trachea.
Trachea. Very good. And 12.
Oblique fissure.
Oblique fissure. Very good. The digestive system helps us break down foods and take it up into our bloodstream. Food particles, such as glucose, are then delivered to cells where they are utilized. The breakdown of food from large pieces to small, single molecule sized particle is called digestion. How do the two different types of digestion function?
For mechanical digestion, it's chewing, and for chemical, it's enzymes and saliva. And this is Melissa.
Perfect. Good. Thank you, Melissa.
Are you putting the quiz up on the screen this time?
Oh, it's not on the screen?
Yeah, I just see the lung picture still.
Oh, shoot. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I thought I put it up on the screen. Oops. I was having to still put up some PowerPoints as we talk. So, all right, now there we go. You got it now, right?
Yes.
Good. When we take a bite of food, let's say our most savory sandwich, we first chew it up in order to make the sizes small enough to swallow. We also do it so that the enzymes in our saliva can intermix with the food and chemically break it down. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the tongue helps move the food around in the mouth when we chew it. It also helps with forming sounds and speech. It's pretty much the virtuoso in your mouth. All this mobility is executed the muscle tissue, some of which attach to bone, mostly the lower jaw and the hyoid bone, while others don't. Match the two types of tongue muscles and their function.
Isn't it
The first one.
and shape the tongue for the second one?
Oh, Nadia, is that?
Yeah.
All right, which one?
Isn't it move the tongue for the first one? And then the second one is shape the tongue?
Yes. Move the tongue and shape the tongue. and which kind of in some ways makes sense if you visualize it. The outside muscles move the tongue around the big thing, and the inside muscles shape the tongue itself. And then the teeth are crazily important when we eat. As we look into our mouth, we can see how the ones in the front look different from the ones to the side and the back. Match the three main types of how to help us break down food. Incisors.
They cut food.
Marisol's that?
Yeah.
Okay, they cut food.
Should I do the next one too?
Yeah, just do them.
Okay. The canines tear and the molars grind.
And the molars grind. Good. Yeah, and if there was issues with the quizzes in terms of the grading part, let me also know. Hopefully not. A tooth is exposed to a lot of different forces. It has to be very strong and firmly anchored into the jawbone. Deep inside the tooth, we find a pulp cavity, which is where the tooth cells maintain and make new dentin, most of the tooth, that is. Laying over that is this white stuff of the tooth, the hardest material in our body. What is that called?
The
Enamel.
first one.
Who said enamel back there? Ovi?
Ovi.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Where are you? There you are. Good. Number 5. Once food is chewed up enough and we decide to swallow it, we push it up against the back of the roof of the mouth, and voila, the body automatically swallows it, which is a reflex. Muscles raise the hyoid bone, which covers the windpipe, with a flap, which is the epiglottis, and frees the pathway for the food to travel into the stomach. What is the muscular tube called that transports the food to the stomach?
Esophagus?
Who's first?
I think it was me. I don't
All
know.
right, good. Go for it. I heard your voice clear too. Esophagus, that's good. Esophagus it is. The gut, the gullet, it was as a title, I think, in the book. The digestive tract is, in essence, a very long tube. Even though some of the functions change along this tube's pathway, its walls have the same basic structure. A couple of thinner layers concern themselves with food digestion and absorption. A middle layer is a muscular and responsible for the food to move through the tube. And an outer layer anchors it to its surroundings and protects it. Can you name the 3 different layers?
Kirsty.
Okay.
Let me see here. Is it serosa, submucosa, mucosa, and muscularis?
Yes. That's what I have too.
Sorry, I don't know how to say those.
Huh?
I don't know how to pronounce those. Sorry.
No, that's all right. Don't worry about it. That's very good. It's very difficult to pronounce these names. Serosa, and did you say? Muscularis? No. Did you say mucosa or submucosa? It's actually both, right?
Submucosa,
It's both.
muscularis, and mucosa.
Yeah. This one too, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. Very good. All right, moving right along. Moving food, also right along, through the gastrointestinal tube is accomplished by 2 layers of muscle. An inner layer encircles the tube and can squeeze it. Question? No. Can squeeze it. The outer layer is lengthwise, and when it contracts, it shortens the tube to move the food forward. What do we call or name the process of altering movement contraction, muscle contraction?
Peristalsis.
Peristalsis. Good. That's Marcella, right?
Yes.
Good. That's good. Peristalsis. The stomach is right below the ribcage on the left side. In it, the chewed up food, which now is called the bolus, gets exposed to serious acidic environment, pH of 2. The acidity, together with enzymes, chemically break down or digest the bolus much more and make it into a liquid. What is that? Do we call the liquefied food?
Chris, chime.
That is chyme. Very good. The bag-like stomachs inside walls feel like velvet and has many lengthwise folds called rugae. When we look very close, we find tiny holes along the walls of the gastric pits that form different types of cell secretions in the unique substances. Can you name those cells and the secretions? What does chief cells do?
The first one is pepsinogen.
Who's that? Who's that?
Jessica.
Jessica. Okay, got it. Good, go.
The pepsinogen. The second one is HCl, and the last one is mucus.
Very good, thank you. Mucus. There it is, mucus. Oh, that's a long one. Jesus, what did I think? Number 10. Now, this stuff is cool. The body makes about 1 to 2 liters of gastric juices per day. What stimulates those cells to make that all day? Do we always produce it? Well, I'm glad you asked. Close your eyes for a moment and think of a nice, juicy, fresh cut lemon. Visualize digging your teeth into it and taking a bite out of it. Do you feel the mouth starting to make saliva a little bit more? That reflex also happens to our stomach's juices, making cells, and then they start producing. Then when the bolus arrives in the stomach, juice is seriously triggered to make sure that we can handle the digestive food that we all ate. Lastly, when the liquefied food leaves the stomach, the next part of the tube, the small intestine, adjusts how much gastric juice is produced. This way, the body can finally control of how much of this highly acidic stuff is made. Can you name the different phases of the gastric juice secretions?
Clearly, cephalic, gastric, and intestinal.
Cephalic, gastric, intestinal. Very good. Number 11, from the stomach, we move to the small intestine. This long tube has 3 main functions. It needs to further break down the food particles so that they are small enough to be absorbed. Bringing them into the bloodstream is the second function. That's the absorption. And lastly, after all the food is absorbed, we are left with the liquid part of it. This is done by the third section of the small intestine. Please name the 3 parts and list their main function. Duodenum. Uh-oh, we're getting more quiet. Anybody who hasn't spoken yet? What does duodenum do? No? All right, round 2 then. I'm not going to be mean today. Kirsty, okay, what's up?
Duodenum is chemical digestion.
Okay.
Duodenum is absorption of nutrients, and ileum is absorption of water.
Chemical digestion. Jejunum. Sorry, I make you spell all the stuff out, but that's good. You did very well. Is the what did you say? Absorption of nutrients, and then later, once the nutrients are done, we kind of go with the water at that point. Very good.
Yeah.
Number 12, the inside of the intestinal wall has folds like the stomach did. Additionally, it also has little peg-like extensions sticking out into the tube, or also called the lumen. These villi are lined with cells that are designed to absorb the food particles either into the bloodstream or the lymph. What are those cells called?
Enterocytes, Marisol.
Enterocytes, very good. Number 13, with eating food, eating back bacteria and things that make us sick comes with it. Many foreign attackers are neutralized when traveling through the acidic stomach, but not all of them. The small intestine is heavily populated with groups of immune cells that sit in dome-like structures between the villi. Particles of bad stuff or antigens are absorbed into them. From there, immune cells process it and make antibodies that they then send back into the intestine to attack and neutralize more of the same antigens. I love how that works. What do we call these dome-shaped follicles found particularly numerous in the ileum?
Dennis, Peyer's patches.
Peyer's patches. Very good. Thank you, Dennis. Oh, God, it's a long one again. Number 14, the large intestine follows next. It starts by the right hip, moves up to the rib cage and then travels across before going bound to the left hip. Blah, blah, blah. You can read the tip yourself. Anyway, back to here. The large intestine is very important because in here, good bacteria, yeah, there is such a thing, munch on the food that is indigestible for us. Through that process, they free up vitamins and other extremely valuable substances that we then can then absorb into the bloodstream and utilize. Now, I think that's great. Once our body makes use of all the stuff eaten, it is time to send it through the last section before we poop it out. Can you name the sections?
Melissa, the anus, rectum, sigmoid, colon.
Very good. Good. Number 15. The GI tube is very long. This tube has to fit into a pretty narrow space between our diaphragm and the pubic bone. We particularly need to assure that the tube doesn't have any kinks in it because it would obstruct movement and back up food, which is not a good thing. So the body solves this problem by having a strong flat sheet of tissue, a membrane attached to the back body wall and reach around the gut tube, suspending it. It's kind of like a tube is held in place by it, which I think is very smart. Can you name that system?
The peritoneum.
The peritoneum, good. That is Dennis, right?
Right.
Number 16, the gland that secretes most of the digestive enzymes is the pancreas. It secretes them into the duodenum, which is that first part of the small intestine. Besides enzymes, the pancreatic juice is also very alkaline, which helps neutralize the acidity coming from the stomach. The pancreas is also a hormonal endocrine gland, helping the body deal with blood sugar. Can you name those two antagonistically functioning hormones?
Glucagon and insulin?
And that's Chris?
Yes.
Very good. Glucagon and insulin. The liver has how many lobes?
2.
2 lobes. Clearly, good. Oops, that was a shortcut. Let me make sure. I have to drink some water here. Number 18. Bile is really cool.
4? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no. Right. I'm wrong. It has 4. Oops. You got me. And make sure you pay attention. Maybe I say that. Mm-hmm. Thank you. That was Marcel, right?
Yeah.
Make sure we pay attention.
It's right and left in the quadrate and caudate.
Yeah, the caudate, the tail lobe on the back end. Exactly.
Sorry, mister, I have a question.
Yes.
On number 17, you said it's 2, right?
No, it's 4. We were wrong.
4.
Yeah, Celia and I was wrong. It's 4. Or I was wrong.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So you got me too, huh? Bile's really cool. It's like soap that cuts the grease. See, fat and water environment tends to clump together like Italian salad dressing. In the intestine, that is very important that because we cannot absorb large clumps of fat, they need to be droplet size. That's where the bile acids help. Can you explain how they do that?
Emulsification.
Emulsification, very good. And number 19, most molecule types are absorbed in the bloodstream directly. However, one of them first travels through the lymphatic vessels before being dumped into the blood. Which type of food particle travels that route?
Fats. Marisol.
Yep, fats, yes, fats. Marisol, good, thank you, good. There's the lymphatic system. The other types of food are absorbed directly into the blood. They are directly delivered to the liver for processing. Which blood vessels connects the liver, the intestine directly to the liver? Anyone?
Is that the first one?
Who's that, Shirley?
Yeah.
Hepatic portal vein, yes. Good, good, good. All right, all right. Any questions with that topic? Good, then I take it forward. We're going right into nutrition. Don't have to. And how was that topic for you guys? Did you guys learn something in that nutrition section?
It was kind of interesting.
Okay, good.
I like the fact that I learned about fiber that reduces the sugar level.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah.
That the fiber actually really helps with all balancing a lot of stuff out. Yeah, fiber is really important. If you don't have it in a diet, just, get some Metamucil pills or something. But definitely. All right, then let's get right into it. Our body needs energy to build and maintain itself. We get this energy from food, which is broken down and absorbed by the digestive system. From there, the tiny food particles travel to the liver before reaching the body's cells. Ultimately, the mitochondria is where we make the energy molecule. What is that molecule called again?
Clearly, ATP.
ATP, all right. Number 2. Food often gives us comfort, or I should say, this is the center of the brain that makes us feel that way. It's very important because we need to feel nurtured as humans. As we read before, another thing food provides is energy to the cell so that we can work. Understanding how much energy food contains and how much a body needs is important. Science created the calorie, a unit that measures the energy it takes to heat 1 kilogram of water, that's about a quart, by 1 degree Celsius. It then correlates that to how many calories a human body needs. Now, not all food types contain the same amounts of calorie. Can you list how many are in a gram of the respective food groups?
The first one is 4.
Okay, carbs are 4. That's Jessica, right?
Yeah. And
right,
fat
keep
is
going.
9.
Yep.
And protein 4. And alcohol 7.
I know, damn alcohol is too many, huh?
Yeah.
I know. There you go, good one. When we consider how much energy one needs, we first calculate how much one needs when completely at resting. We call that the basic metabolic rate. That's roughly our weight in kilograms times 24. What activity raises one's energy level significantly?
Physical activity.
Physical activity. That's Nate. Nate, right?
Yeah.
Number 4. Moving right along. Let's next consider the main types of nutrients in the food. We start with our macronutrients, the proteins, fats, and carbs. An interesting thing about protein that I never really got until looking at a picture of a source of proteins is that vegetables often have actually more than meats does. What molecule does protein give us that is very helpful?
Amino acids.
Amino acids. That's Chris, right?
Yep.
Number 5. Fats are very interesting. We need them for energy. We also need certain fats for other functions. And interestingly, cholesterol is a precursor to many of those. Also, some fats we need for many body functions that are essential, which means we cannot make them ourselves. We have to eat them. Of all the different types of fats, can you tell me which one is artificially made, meaning it does not exist in nature?
Trans fats.
Trans fats. Good, Marisol. Carbs is the main immediate energy giver. Eat a donut and get yourself a sugar spike. You can feel the burst of energy right away. The fats release their energy much slower, which is why it is important to eat a bit of every food group in each meal. Of course, we love the sugar stuff because it makes us sweet, that tastes sweet. The problem with eating too many sugary or simple carbs is the fact that the glucose gets released in the bloodstream quickly. Sugar in the blood makes it sticky, and also that clogs the blood vessels, does all kind of damage. To avoid these problems, the cells have to be told to pick up all that sugar and remove it from the bloodstream. Insulin is the body's messenger telling that to the cells. If the body has to produce a large quantity of insulins all the time, it wears it out and becomes less efficient. Which gland secretes the insulin?
Iona, pancreas.
Iona, pancreas. Perfect. Number 7, super duper. This brings us to the micronutrients, which are the ones that don't give us energy, but are otherwise crucially important to maintain life, or vita, as it is called in Latin. Many of them help enzymes in their work of driving chemical reactions. Can you tell me what nutrients I'm talking about?
Vitamins, Melissa.
Melissa, vitamins. Good. Very good. I know, my salad is waiting. Number 8. Some of those micronutrients dissolve easily in water and are peed out within hours, if not used. They should be ingested every few hours. Others are fat soluble and get stored in the liver and fatty tissue. It is important to eat them with other fats. Look at the list of food that contain the different kinds of fat. List as fat supplements or fat soluble supplement vitamins. Sorry, that apply.
Is it vitamin A, D, E, and K?
A, D, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, A, D. Yeah, it's those.
Okay.
Good. That's good. Perfect. So those you want to drink or eat more frequently, those are not as like the vitamin D. It's good to take some vitamin D, it seems, these days for most of us. But you don't have to take it throughout the day, and just take it once a day or so. You know the B's you're peeing out because the pee is yellow. And then it's, guys, goes pretty fast. Minerals are the other kind of micronutrients we got to touch on. Can you match minerals to function? Oh, that's a tough one. Anybody?
I can do it.
Go for it. Go for it. Who is it?
It's Melissa.
Cool. All right, I'm here. Calcium.
Calcium is nerve and muscle function.
Okay, where was that? No, okay, down here. Good.
Iodine is thyroid function.
Very good.
Iron is carrying oxygen in the blood.
Very, very good.
Zinc is wound healing.
Uh-huh.
And selenium is cancer control.
Very good. Zinc is also apparently good for virus control. Talk about the corona. Or whenever I get an onset of a cold, I take some Zicam, and it really seems to shorten it. Okay, that was very good, Melissa. Number 10. Now, one process that harms body cells particularly badly is the one of free radicals. These molecules are angry because they are in need of an electron so badly that they pull one off another molecule. You can only imagine the chain reaction. Next one, and so on. Ultimately, they harm things like DNA or are responsible for fatty deposits in arteries. The awesome thing, though, is we have molecules we can eat that have electrons to give, and they can neutralize the free radicals, which is fantastic. What are those molecules called?
Antioxidants.
Antioxidants.
Marcella. Yeah.
Very good. There is also a very good argument to be made that we should eat fruits and vegetables as whole. One reason for that is that plants contain active substances that protect them and also us. Tomatoes alone have about 10,000 different useful things in them, and we have only studied a few of them. Isolating a chemical compound, which means putting it into a pill and calling it a supplement, can never give the body what it needs. which doesn't mean it's not good. Don't get me wrong, but it is very important to eat the whole thing. What is a diet called that is full of those good things?
Rainbow colors.
A rainbow color diet. Very good. So that's your salad with your tomatoes, with your all kind of whatever color you can find at the farmer's market things. Lastly, eating cellulose or plant cell walls is very important. They are indigestible for us, but act like a system cleaner. They even help diminish sugar spikes in the blood. What part of the food am I talking about?
Fiber, Shamim.
Shamim, fiber, super. That's why it's so important to eat those damn fibrous things. Good. How did that go? Any questions?